Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
Good evening, ma'am. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you so much. Today's session is on career paths in tech. So, presenters for today is Mr. Elijah Peter. Mr. Guntayo and Ms. Olaide will be joining us along the line. So, right now, Mr. Elijah will take the floor. Please, Mr. Elijah from Tech Department, you can go ahead. Mr. Elijah, can you hear me?
Okay. Hello, I can hear you, Victoria. Victoria?
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can any other person hear me on the call? Well, like I won't be able to see reaction. If anybody's on the call, they should not put reaction because I won't see that. They should talk. But Mr. Elijah, please can you go ahead with the session? Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening, Exiba. If you can hear me, can you please can you just unmute your mic and say something? I can hear Victoria, but I want to know if the rest can hear me. Okay. Miss Adesina, can you hear me? Can you unmute or just give a reaction? Any of the
We
two.
can hear you. We can hear you, Elijah.
Okay. Hi. Good evening, everyone. My name is Elijah Peter, and I'm a front end engineer. I want to welcome every one of you to this section. We're talking about career in tech. Okay. Before we start, I just want you to know that technology is taking every aspect of today's job. Everything you can do with pen and paper. Technology is taking over everything. Every sector is in every sector right now, and in the future, you find that many people are going to be laid off because they are not skilled enough to handle some of the sectors they are in right now. So, in order to position yourself for the future, we're going to be taking a look at the various careers we have in tech. Okay. Um, so I don't know if I'm still audible. Please,
Yeah, yes,
if I'm
sir.
not audible, just let me know so that I will know that I'm still on the call. Okay, so I will know that I'm still communicating. All right. First of all, the first career that I'm going to talk about today, we have many of them. There are a lot of them. There are a lot of careers in tech, but because of time, we'll not be able to go into all of the careers in tech, right? And not be able to go into deep, right? Because of time, we should go into deep in one of the careers in tech. It may take the whole day, it may take about 3 hours or 4 hours, and I don't want to keep all of us here. So one of the career we have in tech is software engineering or software development, right? So that's one of the career we have in tech, right? Thank you. Software developer, software engineer is a person that creates software applications, right? Now we have different software um, in the world right now. Now we have the web, um, we have the website, the web applications. We also have mobile applications. We also have desktop applications. Now, any app you see on your phone or on the internet or the web rather is being created by a software engineer or a software developer, right? Now, Software, if you hear me say software engineer or software developer, I'm referring to the same person, although there may be a bit different between those two people. And I would like to go deeper, right? Now, these people are responsible for creating applications that we're using today. Now, if you go to your phone, okay, not just go to your phone right now. Now, what you're using to communicate now, right now, was being developed by a software engineer. Now, this Google Meet application that we're using is being created by who? By a software engineer. Now, you see that software engineer has um, solved a problem in the world, right? Now, he solved the problem of communications between people around the world. Now, anywhere you are around the world, if you have this link, you can connect to this section. You see that? So there's no need for us to travel around to come and meet. So you can be at your home, at your office, wherever you are, and you can connect to this call or to this meeting. So isn't it a wonderful thing? Of course, it's a wonderful thing, right? That you can stay at your home and you can join a meeting with people around the globe, wherever you are. As long as you have this link, you can join this meeting. Okay. Now, how do you get started as a software engineer? What I think you need to know to start as a software engineer. Okay. In software engineer, we have two aspects in software engineer. Now we have the front end. We also have the back end engineers. Right now, the front end engineers are responsible for creating the user interface, the user experience. Right. Those are people that develop, rather not design. Now they develop the the what you can see, what you can interact with in a web application or in a website, like the buttons, the layout, right, the logo, the form, anything you can see visually and you can interact with is being created by a front end developer. Right now, why the back end developer are known as the server side developers. Now they create the server side, right? That that you cannot see, right? The backend developers, you can't see what they build, but they work on the back end of the web application, like creating the servers, creating authentication. Now, for instance, when you let's say for instance like Jumia, for instance. Now Jumia is a web application. It's a marketplace on the web where you purchase goods or products. Now, once you make your order, uh, when you must make your order, is the back end that will process your order. In the back end that process your order. Once you click on buy or you add to cart, now the back end have a way of how will I put it now? Of processing the your request, actually process your request and give you feedback through the front end. Right now, what are some of the tools you need? What I think you need to learn before you can become a software engineer. Right now, if you want to go into the front end as a front end engineer, you need to learn HTML, you need to learn CSS, you need to learn JavaScript. Right, these are the three basic things or knowledge or skills you need as a front-end engineer. There are also frameworks that you can learn, like the React, which is JavaScript framework, the Angular, the Vue. We have the Bootstrap, we have the Tailwind CSS. These are the tools you need as a software engineer, as a front-end software engineer. While for the back-end engineer, you need to learn the skills like the Node.js. Now, Node.js is also a JavaScript library. Now, JavaScript, you can work both on the front end and also on the back end using JavaScript, right? If you know Java, if you're a JavaScript developer, you can both work on the front end and the back end. Now, we also have Python, can be also used for the back end. Now, when you learn Python, there are also Python frameworks that you need to learn, which is the Django and Flask. Now, these two frameworks will enable you to build the back end applications of a web page. Okay. So moving on, we also have cybersecurity, uh, cyber securities. Now, in the world of tech, the cyber security specialists, what they do is that they protect systems and network from cyber threats, right? And they implement security measures to monitor the activities that is happening on the products, right? Now, we all know that we have hackers that hack into system. We have hackers that hack into banks to steal money from banks. I think it was not 2 years ago, I mean 3 years ago, that hackers, the hackers now they hack into these people now. I'm trying to remember these people. Bet Ninja, yeah, Bet Ninja. About 3 years ago, 2 years ago, we had hackers, right? Stole money from Bet Ninja accounts. They break into their platform. They loot money from them, right? Now, goal of cyber security is to protect the, your products, right? And protect your products. They protect the network from cyber crimes. Now, let me just give you a simple example. Now, like now, if you on your hotspot now and it's not protected, you know that someone can hack into your network and be tapping from your data and you won't know. Right now, if you are able to set password that will secure your this thing now, your hotspot. Now, anybody cannot break into it because you have put security measures into place to secure your network. Now, before you can launch into cyber security, there are a lot of tools you need. There are a lot of skills you need to learn before you can safeguard or protect the network. There are a lot of them, and am I still audible? I don't know if I'm still communicating. I don't know if you can still hear me.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
All right. Okay. For instance, now, if you want to go into cyber security, you need to learn antivirus and anti-malware software. You need to equip yourself well. You need to learn the firewalls. You need to learn intrusion detection and prevention. Right? You need to learn security information and event management. You need to learn vulnerability scanners. There are a lot of software, a lot of things you need to learn so you can venture into cyber security. There are a lot of skills you need to learn, but basically they protect systems, networks, right, from cyber threats. Okay, moving forward, we um, also have the UI UX designers, right? We also have UI UX designers. Now, what these people do is that before a software engineer or a front-end engineer can work on any product, the the UI UX designers, they focuses on designing user interfaces and user experience, right? So the UI designers, they work on the looks and the feel of application. Now the UI designers now, which is user interface, they are the designers that will actually work on what you see on your application. Now, before it's being coded by the developers, UI designers must have worked with their tools, right, to design the application on how it looks, the button, the menu, the nav bar, the footer, the layouts of the application is being designed by the UI designers, right? Now, why the experience by the functionality of how the application will function is being designed by the UX designers. For instance, let me cite an example. Uh, is the UX designers that will design an application such a way that once you click on a particular button, take you to a place or to do something, right? Now, what you experience on the website is being developed, or sorry, it's being designed by the UX designers. Now, the UI and UX designers, they work together, right? They work together to ensure the product. Now, what are some of the tools you need to learn? What are the things you need to learn before you can venture into UI, UX career in tech? Now, you need to learn design and prototyping. Now, one of the tools they're using designing is Figma. Now, they use Figma. Figma is a popular tool which is being used by UI designers to design the user interface of an application. Right? We also have Adobe XD is also a tool used by the designers to design the application on how it should look. We also have there are many of them. We have also have one of the skills you also need to learn apart from designing and prototyping. One of the skills you also need to learn is wireframe and mockups. Right? You need to learn the wireframe and the mockups. But one of the thing you can learn is we have the Basma make, we have the Asure RP, right? These two tools they are used to do the wireframe and the mockup. There are several of them, but I just want to keep the list short, right? We also need to know the graphic design and asset creation. You need to learn how to design the the graphics. You also need to know how to also know how to do collaboration and handoff. We also need to learn how to use is usability testing, right? Before you give them to do, you have to test what you have done if it is okay for the developers to start working on it. Okay, moving forward, we also have the data scientist. We also have the data scientist, right? Now, this data science, sorry, we have okay. Let's move to DevOps before data scientist. Okay, now to work on the products, right? We have people that we call DevOps engineer. Now, what the DevOps engineer do is to bridge the gap between software developers and IT operations, right? To enhance the efficiency of development process. They focus on automation, continuous integration, and continuous deployment. Right now, this DevOps engineer, they are, well, I say they are the middleman now between the development team and the IT operation team, right? They bridge the gap. They come between both of them, right? To enhance the production of products, of software products. Now, before you can go into this field, there are skills you need to learn. There are things you need to know before you can start your career as a DevOps engineer. Okay, another thing you need to know is version control, right? It's very important to know version control, which is Git. Now, what does Git does? Git the manage the code, the how you can have access to the code, the pushing of code from repositories, right? From different repositories now. As when the developers work in a team, we have what we call GitHub, right? Now we have GitHub, and we also have what we call GitHub repositories. Now, as a developer, if you're working in a team, it's important that you have these tools. It's important you know these tools very well because you cannot be pushing all your codes into the same repository. Now, because of management, the way to manage your code efficiently, you need to have version control because it's the version control that will enable you to track your codes very well, the changes you made, the corrections you made. And if you don't know version control or have not used version control, you see that your work will actually not be done well because whether you like it or not, a lot of bugs you're going to encounter as a developer. And as a DevOps engineer, if you don't know version control to be able to manage the code of developers, if you find that the production will not go well because it will be a lot of bugs and errors which will make the application not to function very well. Okay, now all of these skills you also need to learn as a DevOps engineer um, is cloud platforms. You need to know cloud platforms. We have several cloud platforms, which is we have the AWS, we have the Azure platforms, right? There are several of them that you need to learn before you can become a DevOps engineer. And it's important for you to learn these skills because these are the core skills that you need to learn in you need to learn as a DevOps engineer. Because you also know how to do automation. Okay,
Hello.
IT operations.
Okay.
You need to work with both teams. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Am I still audible?
Yes.
Am I still audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. Okay. All right. You also need to learn continuous integration and delivery. You need to be integrating the codes the developers are pushing to the repository. You need to learn infrastructure management. There are a lot of them that you need to learn. You also need to learn security, very important. Okay, there are a lot of things you need to learn. So moving forward, we also have data science. We also have data scientists. Now, what does data scientists do? Can you please move to the next slide? Okay, can you move to data science, please, before we go to project manager? Okay, now let's look at product manager. Now in tech, we have before we get to product manager, let's look at data scientists. Okay, now data scientists now, like the word data, right? We all know what data is. Now, what they do is that they analyze and interpret complex data to help organizations make informed decisions, right? They use statistic method, they use machine learning and data visualization techniques to extract insight and large data set. Now, before you build any product, you need to do your research very well, right? You need to gather information. Now, this is the role of data scientists in tech. They go about gathering information they need for them to be able to make decisions on what to do in tech. As a data scientist, there are a lot of tools you need to learn as a data scientist to become efficient in your role. You need to learn a programming language, which is Python. I know I mentioned Python, that you can use Python to develop backend. Now, Python is a very broad programming language that can be used for different purposes, not only in software development, but can also be used in data. Also, can also be used even in AI development, right? Now, when you learn Python, there are also frameworks which enables the data scientists to um to analyze data. We have Panda, right? We have Panda. We have is it Noot? Sorry, if I cannot pronounce it very well, is it Noopy or Nootpad? There are a lot of several tools that you need. So you also need to learn how to visualize data because data you are gathering, you need to put in such a way that it can visualize and it can make meaning to the organizers. I don't know if I'm still audible.
Yes, sir. You are audible.
All right, all right, okay. So basically, the data science, like I said, they interpret data, right? They interpret data. Okay, now moving to the next career that we have in tech, which is product manager. Now we have what we call product manager, also have what we call project manager. Both of them they look similar in operation, but they they differ. They differ. Now, product manager only stick to products, only stick to software products, but product manager cut across different aspects, not just only in tech, but also in businesses. But for the purpose of our discussion today, we'll be looking at product manager. Now, product managers they oversee the development of tech products from conception to the launch. Now they work with cross-functional teams to define products, features, create roadmaps, and ensures that the final product meets users' need. Now, I would like to say that product manager is like the overseer of um, of software products. Now, is a product manager that will determine the number of development team needed for a product, determine the numbers of personnel you work with, his key personnel you work with, the numbers of UI designers needed for a particular product, the idea. Now, the product manager just not only focuses on one aspect, but is across several tech skills, right? In products in product production. We also work with the cyber securities. We also work with the UI designers. We also work with the data scientist, the DevOps engineer, and as a product manager, you need to add at least even if it's the basic knowledge of each area in tech. You need to know programming languages. You need to know the design tools. You need to learn the DevOps tools. You need to learn cybersecurity tools for you to be efficient in um, in production because you are working with people and so you need to understand what they are saying because if they tell you that okay there's bug in this area, you need to understand that you need to know what bug is because if you don't know what bug is, you need to be able to understand what they are saying. So in order to have understand what they are saying, you need to learn the skills, even though if you're not deeply, but have an understanding of what it means to be a software engineer. You need to know what it means to be a UI designer because you're working with people. And as a soft and before you can become a product manager, there are skills that you need to learn as a product manager. You need to learn how to communicate with your um with your team. You also need to communicate with the stakeholders, right? You need to communicate. Um, you need to apportion duties or tasks to um, to the developers, to the UI designers. Right? You're the one that need to put the teams together to communicate if there's any challenges and how to resolve them. You need to hold meeting with your team regularly, to hold meeting with the stakeholders to give them updates about the production of the product. Now, you also need to, I don't know, am I still audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, okay. You also need to learn it. You also need to learn how to use Trello. I don't know if you have of Trello before.
Yes, sir. We are.
Now, okay, you need to learn Trello. Trello is a project management collaboration tool, right? It's used for organizing tasks. It's used for visualizing workflow. Now, in Trello, there's a thing that we call board and cards, right? Those are the places you need to organize your work. You need to apportion work to each developers. Now, when developers is working on with project manager, you need to come to your Trello board, to your Trello card, and write what you have done, right? Okay, you also need to learn, like I said, you need to learn one or two skills, one or two skills in tech. Before you can become efficient, you need to learn how to even design. You need to learn how to do wireframe, right? You need to learn um, how to talk with customer. You need to get customer feedbacks and survey. Okay, you need to document. You need to communicate. You need to test the products, right? User testing. Like for instance, when the product, before you can launch the product fully for people to start using, you need to from few people to test the product to give feedback on how the product is. So I don't know if so far you have any question for me. I don't know if there's any question.
Okay. No, no question yet, sir.
Okay, Isaac, and is it you said there Robosa? If you want me to answer your question, I see your hand
Okay.
up.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you hearing me?
Of course, I can hear you. Go
Yes,
ahead.
sir, we can hear you.
Okay, okay. Okay, okay. I've been hearing what you have been saying since, but what actually drew my attention was the part of the cyber security you were talking about.
Okay.
Uh, Cyber security.
Yeah.
So, based on my own fundamental knowledge, which I was undergoing in cyber security, I
Mm.
get understood that first of all, we have let's say we have cyber defenders and we have cyber attackers, right?
Yeah.
So, and the first stage of cyber attack starts with what we call a reconnaissance.
Okay.
Okay, so that is what the attackers actually use, to kind of discover some sort of vulnerabilities. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and those vulnerabilities are what they will use to attack into the data set or database of an organization, whereby they will have to get hold of the digital information. Okay, so they make use of what we call malware by sending them what they call these malicious mails. But what I don't know if you can actually still brief me more about how they get to take hold of those digital information through the use of malware.
All right. Okay. Now, I had a story about some group of people that went to build their offices around a bank, right? Now, what those people do, they study the bank very, very well. They monitor the activities of the bank, the network that they use. All right. No bank have their own network which they use inside the bank, right?
Yes, yes.
Now, do you know that cyber security can attack you through your network using your network? If you can have access to your network, to your local network now, it can
Oh,
able to it can be
which
able to
means that which means network is part of the vulnerability as well.
yes, if you expose your network, right, hackers can connect to your network and able to get information from you and attack your system, right? Because if they don't have any information from you, they can hardly get into your database, right? So there are a lot of tools that hackers use. A lot of
Okay.
them. They have to study you closely. Sometimes, if you major link your information, they'll attack it. They will try to I don't know what to use now. That will be they can send viruses into your system. Right? They will hack it. They can even suspend you from going into your the moment you are facing some viruses inside your system, they are already there doing what they are doing, stealing your information, right?
Okay.
Now,
I think.
like
Mm,
what happened to to these people now. What's their name? There's this company, Bet Niger. I don't know if you had the story. If you had the story about 2 years ago, about 3 years ago,
yeah,
that
yeah,
they couldn't even log into their accounts.
yeah.
I don't know how true is that story. They couldn't log into their accounts. They have to pay what to use their account for them. Now, how
Yeah,
do you
it,
think
act-
that?
it, it actually happened.
So how do you think they were able to attack this thing because there was a leakage somewhere? maybe through their network, maybe through them. You can use any means at all. You can use any means. So it's why if you expose yourself, right? If you expose
Mm.
yourself, they have their tools that they use that they can go into your system and do a lot of damage.
Because me personally, though I'm not, I don't really engage in attacking actually. Me
Okay.
personally, I've got I get to deal to practical experience where I hacked into Facebook profiles of some persons. You get it? What I just
Yeah.
do is I just need to copy the link, the ID link of their profile, paste it, and
Okay.
get information of them concerning their password. I just paste it on a login form. Then before you know it, I will add the extension of that Facebook to what they call Facebook there's that tool back then. They call it a Facebook extension.
Okay.
So it's those tools actually make it easier for us to delete thousands of pictures, or let's say in fact it will even take you 5 seconds instead of deleting it manually. Then what we just change the password, change the name, and start. So you don't let me understand, there's still something like an information. They can't just work without information. That's what I wanted to really. I get everything now.
Okay. Is there any other question on software development, on UI design, on on data scientist, or product management?
Okay, so I think there was one part you mentioned, this particular security stuff too. So how can we really
Okay.
secure our data? I'm just asking because of my own data. This one is general problem. Some people can actually hack your account, like hacking your network, and they'll be using the data with you,
Okay.
even
Now,
after
have
you.
you heard
Okay,
have you heard about?
please go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. That's a question.
Thank you. So even after one puts password, right, then they still kind of
Mm-hmm.
hack that password and still be using your data with you. How can we even know that they are doing such, and how can that problem be solved?
All right. Have you heard of two-factor authentication before?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Now, one of it you can secure your property. Let me use, okay, your software, your account or your network is by using two-factor authentication, right? What that does is that if it sends you verification code, or send you verification information, verify if you're the person that wanted to log into your account or into your network. So in that way, if you're not the person, you will be able to block the let me call it attack now from the hackers, right? Now you can also you can also update your password regularly. You need to change your password regularly. Because if you're using one password for a long period of time, someone may be studying, maybe your brother or someone or your friend may be studying your password, be monitoring your password, right? Now, once he will able to get your password, or who is your ATM pin itself, not just your network password, when your ATM card, so you need to secure your password, your ATM pin by changing it regularly, right?
Okay. Yeah.
You need to change it, you need to update it regularly, you need to change it so that someone can just get it easily like that. Another way you can do is that you can monitor your account activity. Very important. You need to monitor your accounts regularly to ensure that there's no um, there's no fraudulent activities going on. There's no suspicious activities going on. The moment you notice any suspicious activities going on, you need to take security measures like changing of password, like setting your two-factor authentication, right?
Yeah.
you also need to, there are some things you also need to install in your system, right?
Yes,
You
sir.
also need to, you also need to enable, have you heard of firewalls before?
I've heard about it, but I don't really know much.
Now, have you heard of firewall before? You can use firewall. Okay. So now firewalls, now we have both hardware and also have software firewalls. They used to block unauthorized access to your network device, right? When you use firewall, it will block it's when we're trying to hack into your account, it will block it, just like a defense, just
Okay,
like
sir.
the goalkeeper in a post that is blocking shots. Just let me just use that example. So it blocks any activity that is not from you.
Okay, sir. Thanks so much, sir.
Okay. All right. So do you have any question again? Any question? Okay. So okay. Um, I would like I would like you to actually make your own research before you dive into any tech career you want to do research on it. You have to know what it takes. Where you can choose. You have to know what you like. You have to study yourself and know where you are your strong your where you are strong. I mean, if you are good in mathematics or you are good in calculation, if you are good in keeping records and data, so you need to know where your interest lies. Okay, you don't have to choose what everybody is choosing because your friend is doing this, so you also want to do it. Okay, so you have to make research and try to explore. Just try to explore. Try to explore what software engineering. Try to explore cyber security. Try to explore data science. Just explore to find where your interest lies. Like when I started with data science, but I wasn't enjoying it, so I had to switch to something else. So try to explore, right? So thank you everyone for attending today's class. So I want over to Victoria now.
Okay, thank you so much, everybody. We are really grateful for today's session. Today, we were able to learn a lot of skills, the, and we've understood how to go about them. So, if you have further questions or anything, you can kindly drop it on the imaginary platform. Thank you so much again for joining.